Hey guys, welcome to another episode of No Skunk Adventures. Today we're at Big Virginia Lake. Looks like it is thawing out. There's still some sheets of ice. But we're going to try to find a spot and see if we can't get into these fish, these holdovers. I'm not even sure if they've stocked this lake yet. I know the opener was over a month ago, but it looks like it was probably snowed in. But regardless, we're going to give it a go. When I first got here, the ice was far enough back so that I could cast as far as I could and not have it be a problem. However, the winds picked up and started moving the ice towards the shore. And before you knew it, there was hardly any place where you could cast to. Fortunately for me, this pocket of water formed between the sheets of ice in front of me, and I was able to get some fish out of this pocket. Before I started filming, I had caught a couple of trout on the 7-gram Outkaster spoons, but then the ice came in and kind of shut things down for about 15-20 minutes. But during this time, I saw one guy who had a nice pocket that he could still fish to. He was casting out with Castmasters and getting them left and right. So when the window opened up for me, I switched to Castmasters and caught my share of fish as well. Eventually, the trout stopped hitting on the Castmasters, so I went back to the 7-gram Outcasters and was still able to get a few on that. At the time, you could still see that there's a nice little strip of water that kind of bends off to the right. I could still cast out far and get some hits, get some followers. Eventually, that strip of water between the sheets of ice would get closed off, and I'd have to switch to something a little bit lighter, something that would stay in the water column without sinking so quickly. I had just the answer, and it was this Outkaster Palomino that had the profile of a 7-gram spoon, but it was so thin. It's probably like a 1-gram weight, but with the profile of a 7-gram spoon. And it was perfect. It would just flutter. It would hold its position in the water column to give the fish enough time to detect it and follow. Most of the fish being caught on camera here were caught on the Palomino flutter spoon. I didn't go back to the car to get the tripod till after the Castmaster bite died down. Although no fault of my own, there was a period where I started to feel kind of bad because there was about a 10 fish stretch where I was the only one catching. Um, the winds had blown the ice towards the shore and pretty much covered the rest of the lake surface area, so nobody else could really cast into deeper water.
Excuse me? Hey man, I know you're killing me. Can I ask what are you using for bait?
I'm using a spoon.
Oh, spoon?
Light flutter spoon, very light. So it hangs in the column and doesn't just sink.
Okay. How many does that do? Like number 5?
I'm between 10 and 15. Somewhere around there.
Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the fishermen that were there that day. They could have very easily tried to crowd me because I was catching fish in this one pocket that naturally formed in front of me. And I would have welcomed it and would have allowed it because, it wasn't their fault that the ice pretty much blocked off all this fish from them. But, I've been in situations in the Bay Area when I fish and when the fish get planted into the lake and the fish will start hitting in one spot, and where there were 2 or 3 people, now it'll be shoulder to shoulder, and then when the school moves to another spot, the crowd will move, and it's not the best situation, but that's urban fishing, and one of the reasons I enjoy going to the Sierras. You don't get that element as often. Fishing in the Eastern Sierras is just the best, whether you catch or not. Just being out here, the natural beauty of the Eastern Sierras, you can't beat it.
I don't know how many this is, but they were already hitting on the Outkaster spoons regular, and then I started using Castmasters to get on the long cast, but this flutter Palomino has been killing it for like the last 10 fish. So thanks, Pack. This thing is really working in a tight spot. Oh my goodness. My spoon got caught on the ice. That flutter spoon got caught on the sheet of ice and got snagged, and I couldn't keep it. I lost it. So the winds have shifted again, and for the last, I don't know, 10, 15 casts, I haven't had much of a window because the ice been coming in, and then now I lost my favorite spoon. tight quarter. So now we're gonna still go with Palomino, but we're gonna go with a 0.8 gram. So this should also flutter. I'm just not sure if I can cast it out in this wind, but we'll give it a go.
Hey, can I see how they're doing? Yeah, let's see.
Finally got one. That was a long wait. Take this off. Yeah, this is the Palomino 0.8 gram. I think I'm going to end with that. Don't have much of a window left. Still on the 0.8 window. Hey guys, well that was a fun session here at Virginia Lake. Normally I go to Little Virginia, but it looked like it was still snowed in. Cars were parked on the street instead of going into the gate, so decided to come up to Big Virginia first before going to Little Virginia, and ended up spending some time here. A lot of fun, a lot of challenge trying to fish through the sheets of ice in between, and moved around a little bit, found a pocket that held for a good period of time. Did really well on that flutter Palomino spoon, Outkaster spoon. Unfortunately, it got caught up in one of the sheets of ice and I had to lose it. So I know that was, I don't know if Pack makes any more of those, but I'm out of those flutter spoons. Anyways, it was a good time. As always, continue to be safe out there. Enjoy the outdoors. Until next time.